Yo, what's good people? I welcome you back again to another podcast presentation of the Yosef's 2 Cents Talk Show podcast. Tonight, I want to dedicate this particular episode to all my brothers out here in the world, to encourage you by letting you know that you, sir, are a warrior, and you need to celebrate yourself a whole lot more than you have been doing. As always, I'm your man, Yosef X. And once again, I welcome you back again to another podcast. Sit back, unwind, and relax, and we will get things started momentarily. I'll be right back after this. Enjoy the music. All right. I see a lot of y'all have come on in. We are broadcasting on both Facebook and YouTube. Let's see who we have with us on the Facebook side first. Brother Barron, good evening to you, sir. Thanks for joining us, as always. Sister Earlene, good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Lady Marla, good evening to you, sweetheart. Thank you for joining us tonight. That is on the Facebook/Meta side. And we have on the YouTube side, Elder James. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope Mrs. James is doing well, too. I hope that you have had a very productive Wednesday, whether you or at work, summer school, or whatever obligation you had to fulfill. I hope it was very successful. It was very productive, and things will continue to go your way. I thank you for, making this podcast a part of your Wednesday routine and ritual of sorts. It has been brought to my attention that this is Men's Month. And this month is dedicated to all of the brothers, all the men. And I want to give a special shout out and salute to Lady Marla for informing me of such. Because as all of you know, according to my Hebrew/Jewish beliefs, we do not acknowledge holidays or anything on the calendar year. However, by this being such a weaponized society and culture that all of us as men are living in, I figured that I would take it upon myself to encourage all of you, my brothers. Because if there was ever a time when a man needs to be uplifted and strengthened and empowered, Almighty Most High knows it is right now. So I want to say to all of the men, all of the brothers, pay attention to the subject matter very carefully, because you, sir, are a warrior. However, I also want to acknowledge not just the men my age, but our younger men also. You too, young man, you are a warrior. Because after everything that you have withstood and you continue to withstand, and after everything that you have survived in the past, and you continue to survive, you need to celebrate yourself. First, you need to celebrate the Most High and then celebrate yourself. Because in a world where everything is weaponized against us, and for us to still be walking and talking and breathing and are still maintaining our jobs, and we're still providing for our families, and you're still going to school trying to make something of yourself, doggone it, I salute you, sir. I salute all of you. And quite frankly, I don't care if you are melanated, if you're Mexican, if you are Hispanic, if you're Hispanic or Caucasian or whatever the case is. If you are an honorable man and you believe in doing the right thing for yourself and by other people, doggone it, you're a warrior. Because in times such as these, you need to be uplifted and you need to be inspired. And I salute you. Yes, I do. Now, mostly, let me collect my thoughts. Mainly, I talk about issues that concerns the melanated community. But you see, the reality of the matter is, when it comes down to a man being weaponized or trying to be weaponized, or a little boy that's hated for no reason at all, it's no longer a melanated matter. It's a human matter, doggone it. It's a human matter, and it needs to be addressed. Now, you all know I love my melanated self. I love being melanin. I bask in it. And there have been even times where I have smeared it in the face of other people. But I will say again, it's not necessarily a melanated matter, it's a human matter. But I will say also that the ones who needs to be encouraged the most is the melanated brother. I'm not talking about the man that's a douchebag. I'm not talking about the one that doesn't care about his family. I'm not talking about the one that goes around abusing women and abusing children and is a pedophile or a pervert or a pimp. I'm talking about that real high value man that's high value in character, high value in his mentality, his psychological apparatus. You, sir, because you're still breathing and walking and talking and breathing, you are a warrior and you need and you deserve to be celebrated and honored. Yes, you do. Let's see. Young Myron, young Miss Nola, good evening to the both of you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, okay. Miss Bianca, good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Brother Barron, you're quite welcome, sir. You are quite welcome. And you're right, Elder James. Warriors don't cry easily. Now, let me say this right quick. I'm glad he said that. I'm glad he said that. Let me say this right quick. I know that there have been a lot of you brothers that have been crying in silence for whatever reason. I understand. There have been plenty of us that have cried in silence because we feel that nobody on this earth gives a you know what. Excuse me. I know it. Believe me. I know how you feel. It's bad enough that people hate us because we're men. It's bad enough that they hate little boys because they see us in that little boy. But I want to encourage that father, that husband. I know you've made some mistakes along the way. I get it. We all make mistakes. There's not a doggone one of us that is perfect. However, because you chose to continue to strive and you continue to press on and move forward like the warrior you are, doggone it, I salute you. That's right. That's right. I know it's rough. I know it. It's mighty hard. I know it is. But the fact that you're still breathing and the fact that you're still doing the right thing for the right reason, that is just cause for celebration because this is a special occasion. Yes, it is. I want to encourage that brother and that young man that survived the inhumane treatment of being molested. I want to encourage that brother that may be dealing with being bipolar. I want to talk to that brother that may be going through a health crisis, that's struggling to fight addiction. You are somebody special, brother. Yes, you are. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You are created in the image and the likeness of your creator. The Most High knew what he was doing when he created you, when he ordained you, when he ordained your birth. He knew what he was doing. He knew it. And he also knew when he created you, the challenges you would face. He knew what he was doing when he created you because you're custom made from head to toe. And I'm going to tell you right now, you were not put here on this earth to be a failure, a loser, subpar. You were not put here on this earth to be a peasant. You are a child of the Most High. Now, look, I'm not trying to preach tonight. I'm not trying to preach tonight. And if I do sound preachy, forgive me. I guess I'm a preacher by nature. But the fact is, when the Most High decided that you would be created, that he ordained your birth, guess what? He knew what he was doing. That's right. Let me tell you something else. People are saying that just because some of you may not have gone to college to get that degree, so what? That doesn't make you any less of a man. It doesn't make you any less of a human being. As a matter of fact, if you did decide to take up a trade, you got plumbers, right? You got plumbers making more than some of these doctors out here. Hold on. My apologies, folks. Let me tell you something else. Everybody is not meant to be a lawyer. Everybody is not meant to be a medical doctor. Everybody is not meant to be working in an office. Because the fact is, if everybody was a lawyer or a medical doctor or a teacher, who in the world would build a home? Who could be a contractor? Who would be a contractor? Who would be a plumber? Who would be a construction worker if everybody was a lawyer or a doctor? See, this is something that people don't think about. They automatically dismiss the contractor. They dismiss the plumber. They dismiss the engineer. They overlook the mechanic. Everybody's not meant to be, in a suit and tie. And I'll say again, if it's not meant for you to be in a suit and tie, doggone it, fine. We need more contractors anyway. We need more plumbers. See? I want you to listen to me tonight. If you don't listen to me anymore, I want you to listen to me tonight. That's the problem with a lot of people now. People think that for somebody to be intelligent means they have acquired that piece of paper from an institution of higher learning. That makes them an intellect, or that makes them intelligent. Not so. Not so at all. Intelligence simply means to understand how things operate and how people operate, using common sense, using the power of observation. That's what that means. That's what that means. People always are going on, well, you need to go to college and you need to get that degree. Not necessarily. People need to be plumbers sometimes. People need to be contractors. People need to be welders. And some of the ones that have the PhDs, THDs, LLDs, and all the rest of these doctorate degrees, they may be book smart, but if you get them away from the field or the arena of academics and academia, guess what? They are some of the dumbest in the whole world. I'm not ignoring your observations. I got to get this out. I got to get this out of my system. Because unfortunately, whether you believe it or not, or whether you realize it or not, guess what? We are living in an era where it seems like dummies are running the show. You got idiots that's running things. Stupidity and ignorance has become the new intelligence, and I don't like it one bit. Making the ones that's really intelligent and that's really intelligent sound like they're the ones that's stupid and insane. Not so. See? Now I'll say again, I apologize if I sound preachy, but brothers, you need to be reminded as to who you are and whose you are. Your royalty. You know that when you decide to become a true follower of the Most High and not a fly by night, you know that your blood, your physical blood, that's royalty. Your blood is royal. Your blood is sacred blood. Yeah. Let me tell you something else. Now, this is where the late Kevin Samuels and I disagree. Rest in peace to Mr. Kevin Samuels. When he talked about, or he presented his interpretation or his argument about what it is to be a high value man, making six figures, wearing 3-piece suits, shirts, ties, having an elaborate wardrobe. Anybody can have that. But it's more than that. It's much more than that. Thank you, Brother Barron. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, on both the Facebook and the YouTube side, if I don't read out loud your observations, I'm going to make it my business to try to put it on the screen because I want to acknowledge your observations in one way or another. And see, I'm going to tell you why you're a warrior. One of the reasons why you're a warrior is because you got other males that's weaponized against us too. You have men, rather, you have males that are jealous of men for some of the most pettiest of reasons and rationale. And one of them is because, believe it or not, it's because that man dresses better than another, or a man happens to look better than another dude in their mindset. Shout out to my homeboy, Warren Rich, who is my dear friend and my consultant. When he was podcasting on a consistent basis, there was a lot of things that he explained, and he got down to the meat of the matter when it comes down to human nature. And you're right. It's not always understood. But what I'm saying is, by us being weaponized, or by us living in a weaponized society where we're hated by other males, we're hated by women, we're hated by the mainstream media, because being a man has all of a sudden become a crime. And you have not self-deleted yourself, you haven't killed yourself, that is all the more the reason why you should celebrate yourself. I also want to give an encouraging word, and if I'm going all over the place, forgive me. But I also want to give encouraging words to the real, authentic, and genuine preachers out here. Because not every preacher is a fake, phony, and counterfeit pulpit pimp. I want to encourage all of you that is still fighting the good fight of faith and convictions. I want to give you an encouraging word to stay strong and to keep the faith. Because I know that proclaiming and reciting the word of the Most High, it's not easy. And in the times that we're living in now, it definitely has gotten much more difficult. I know it has. I know it. Believe me, I know it has. But for you to still be preaching and teaching and facilitating the word in a hostile environment, when most have walked away and they continue to walk away, but you're still on the wall. You're still a watchman on the wall. Listen. I salute you. Yeah, lifeguards too. Lifeguards too. That's right. Let me tell you something else too, brothers. Excuse me. We don't celebrate one another enough. We don't. I can't tell you how many times a day I've had men to mean mug me. Men have mean mugged me. I can't tell you how many times that happened. On a daily basis, I might add. Whether I take the train to work or sometimes I may have to take the bus or whatever. I can't tell you how many times. That's another reason why I want to encourage you tonight, because the very same things that I go through sometimes, I know y'all are going through it too. And see, it's easy to throw in the towel. It's easy to say I quit. It's easy to say I give up. It ain't worth it no more. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm finished. Yeah. Yeah. But I will tell you, I salute you. I sure do. I salute you. Let me tell y'all something. Brothers, hear me good. If you have to cry, you cry. If you have to, what our ancestors call steal away, you steal away. But whatever you do, don't you dare give up on you. You hear me? Don't you dare give up on yourself. And most importantly, don't give up. Don't give up on the Most High. Don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on your children and your families. Because if you give all that up, if you give all those people up, you would have died before your death. I want you to hear me tonight. I want you to hear me real good. I'm not going to be the intellectual tonight. I'm not going to be the teacher tonight. This is man to man. You understand me? This is man to man. Look, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy preaching. I really do. But I ain't a teacher tonight. I am a man in a weaponized society that is against all of us. You understand me? My task tonight is to encourage all of you. And there may be somebody that may have thought about throwing in the towel and saying enough is enough. I can't do this no more. I'm going to tell you again. It is easier said than done to accomplish your dreams and your goals. But don't you dare give up on the Most High, nor yourself or your family. Don't do that. Brothers, young and old, rich, poor, black, white, Latina, Asian, whatever. You have what it takes to survive. You have what it takes. to get the job done. Oh, yes, you do. You have what it takes to get it done. I was talking to a brother, same age as me. He was saying to me, brother, I haven't told too many people this about me. There's only very few people that know, and now your name is about to be added to the list. He said, Brother Yosef, not too long ago, I was diagnosed with type 2 or bipolar 2. And there are moments when I feel like where I'm bummed out and I feel like, why me? But then I begin to think about it. And I said, after my father was diagnosed with mental illness himself, and then my mom went through challenges, and then for me to be functioning the way I am, I'm proud of myself. I applaud me. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of me. Because I could have just as easily killed myself, but I'm still here. I said, brother, you have every right to celebrate you. And don't you dare stop celebrating yourself neither. Don't you dare. Because for you to admit something serious like that, to admit within yourself, let alone me, but mainly you, and for you to keep on doing what you're doing, man, I salute you, brother. I shook that young brother's hand and I embraced him. I sure did. I don't do that with everybody. But any little thing to celebrate a man that is worth being celebrated and has earned being celebrated, doggone it, you celebrate him. Sure did. That's what I want all of us to start doing. And let me say this too, speaking on mental health. You're a warrior because if you are bipolar or you have been diagnosed with another serious mental illness, but every day that you are above the ground, you're not doing anything to sabotage yourself, and you're not doing anything to sabotage your family members or anybody around you, I salute you. You get saluted over here. Now some young man may say, well, Yosef, Brother Yosef, I believe in some of the same things you do. I talk about some of the very same things you talk about. And you and I get the same amount of followers or viewers. It's less than 100. And I feel like giving up. I said, brother, I'm going to share with you the way I look at it. The way I look at it is this. Everybody's not going to listen to you. There's going to be some people that's going to call you boring. That's going to call you a lame. They're going to call you every insulting adjective they can think of. But as long as you don't give those words power, and as long as you yourself, you don't believe in the opinion of what other people say about you or your project, guess what? All it is an opinion. And it's not fact. It's not factual. You are unique. Now, this is to every man that's listening to me. You are unique. And don't let nobody tell you anything different. Because all of us were not created to be the same. I know that in a world like this, in a place like this, we got every reason in the whole world to look down, talk down, act down, feel down, and more. I get it. But I got to remind you one more time. You are a warrior. And the fact is, in all sincerity, in all truth, you are actually helping somebody and you may not ever know who they are. Oh, yeah. I told you all some time ago that a lot of you are the only Bibles that people read. That's right. You may be the only Bible people read. And a lot of you are. Now let me talk. Let me talk to you right quick. Young man, don't give up on yourself. Because you have far more gifts and far more talent and far more to offer than you realize. I know that you've been hurting for a long time and you wish things were different. But if you would learn to get yourself together with the Almighty, you reconcile and repent to Him, and then you reconcile within yourself, the Most High in you will always be in the majority. I'll say again, you're a warrior. You are above the rest. You're not like everybody else, and that's great. You aren't meant to be like everybody else. You're not. You aren't meant to be like everybody else. Not at all. You aren't meant to be like everybody else. You should be glad that you aren't like everybody else. Because what a world this would be. What a boring world this would be if everybody was the same. I may be talking to a brother tonight. That may be listening to me, who just may be getting out of prison, out of serving time for X amount of years. Let me tell you something. As long as you've learned from your mistakes, the Most High is giving you another chance, brother. We all go through challenges in life. We all go through challenges in life. Sometimes it's because of our own foolishness. Sometimes it's because of our own stupidity. And sometimes it's because we've been chosen for greatness, and we've got to be prepared for greatness. See, everybody is oversensitive. Everybody is a wuss, or the majority of people, or the majority of men have become wussified. But I want to say this. Just because this society and this world continues to plummet right down into the depths, that don't mean you have to go down with it. I keep trying to encourage you. You are a warrior. You are. You always have been. You always will be. Don't let your past define your future. You understand me? I don't care who you are. Whether you're a preacher, a deacon, a trustee, whether you're a lawyer, teacher, contractor, construction, whatever. Because you need to be reminded of something. And what you need to be reminded is this. Some of the greatest leaders that has ever been recorded in the ledger of history, they had some troubled pasts. They did some of everything under the sun. They were self-destructive at one point, but they rose to greatness. And to this very day, this very second, they are still remembered and they are still honored. And the first person that comes to my mind is Malcolm X. Malcolm X had an 8th grade education, but he rose to greatness. Yes, that man went through a great deal in his life, but doggone it, he still is remembered and respected to this day, and he still has a powerful influence on the hearts and the minds of many, many people. It's not how you start. It's how you finish. Some of the greatest actors and activists, some of the greatest people in the arena of human endeavor overcame all the challenges, all the obstacles. You know why they did? I'll tell you why they did it. It's simple. I'm going to play just a little bit of this song. I don't own the copyrights to it. Let me set it up right quick. I'm only play a few seconds of it, but just listen to it.
To succeed, now you say, I am enough. I have everything that I need to succeed. It's already in you.
So for somebody to say that you aren't good enough, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too light, you're too dark, you're too skinny, you're too fat, that's their opinion. I want to say this, and it's 30 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and we're getting ready to wrap things up in a few moments. Now, because, brothers, you are warriors, you're destined for greatness, you got a glorious destiny ahead of you. Let me say this. In that glorious destiny, right? In that glorious destiny that you have, you're going to have to let go of a lot of people. What am I saying? There's a lot of you that have already outgrown a lot of people, and you're afraid to let them go. You know that there is something deep within your heart, deep within your mind, and you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to figure this out. There is something in you that knows you're great, that knows you're destined for greatness, that knows you have far more to offer than what you've been utilizing. You have the gift of leadership. You have the ability to be a dynamic leader. But you don't want to leave some people behind. In order for you to fulfill the glorious destiny that the Most High has for you, you're going to have to say goodbye. because everybody is not meant to be with you throughout the whole of your journey. Because sometimes the Most High wants to put other people in your life so they can help elevate you and mold you and sculpt you. But you got to let them go. There was a sermon that I heard, and I don't listen to him very often. I don't listen to these modern day preachers very often. But for some reason, on this particular occasion, I listened to Bishop T.D. Jakes. And there was one thing that he said in his sermonic offering that made a lot of sense. You know what he said? You got to learn how to pivot. You got to learn how to pivot. You got to learn how to move. Meaning you have to learn how to make adjustments. See, let me share this with y'all right quick, and I'm going to get out of here. In all of us, men, women, children, we desire for something permanent. We long for something permanent. Permanence is something within us. We don't like change. We don't want to grow and mature and develop. But if you don't grow and if you don't mature, how can you agree with me when you look at yourself and you say, I am a warrior? Because being a warrior is about growth. Being a warrior is about growth, maturity. You understand? That's what that means. See? Think about it. Just think about it. Being a warrior means growth, maturity, being developed. I close with this. And I want all of you, my brothers, to listen to me very carefully. I want to close by telling you what a warrior is not. A warrior is not a man who allows for himself to be disrespected and allow for others to be comfortable disrespecting him. You defend your manhood. You spit in the face of those who do not like you. I'm not advocating violence. But too many men have allowed for their masculinity and their manhood to be subtracted just because just so somebody else can be made to feel better about themselves. Stop that. A warrior is not a man who panders for a corrupt woman. A warrior is a leader, the head of his household, who will correct his children, who will correct his wife if they need it. And they will do it not to tear that child down or to tear his wife down, but to build them up. A warrior is not a man who throws in the towel because things don't go well. A warrior is not one that goes along to get along. A warrior is not one that's a sellout. A warrior is the total and complete opposite. That's what a warrior is. A warrior is a man who will stand and will live and will die by his convictions and his beliefs, no matter what. A warrior is a man who believes in doing the right things for the right reason. A warrior is a man that has to be at times a contrarian, who refuses, who revolts against popular opinion, especially if it is allergic, if he's allergic, or if it is allergic to his conscience. A warrior is a man that will stand up in the face of adversity, even if it means that his life will come to an end. So be it. A warrior is in every field of human endeavor. Preacher, contractor, lawyer, plumber, physician, technician, mechanic, whatever field of human endeavor you're in. That's your livelihood. That's how you make your money. That's how you keep a roof over your head. But a warrior is one who learns from his mistakes. A warrior is one that's a teacher. And sometimes that warrior will use his life as a parable. He will use his life as a means to strengthen his brother, young or old, especially when that warrior sees that another warrior has something special and he does not want to see that other warrior's destiny unfulfilled. A warrior is a soldier. Simplify. Always faithful. Always loyal. And brothers, I'm going to tell you something else too. You're going to always have people to talk about you, good or bad or indifferent. Let them talk. You can't stop them from talking about you. And if they spread lies about you, guess what? All they're doing is digging their own graves. That's right. All they're doing is digging their own graves. So, brothers, in closing, you are not now, nor will you ever be, excuse me, the opinion of other people. The only time you become the opinion of other people is that if you start to believe what they say. And you brothers, you males that don't know how to take no for an answer, you better learn. Because along this human listicle sojourn we call life, you are going to be rejected. Rejection is all a part of it. You're going to have women to reject you. You're going to have jobs that you apply for reject you. So what? It's not the end of the world. Perseverance. Perseverance is an action word. I talked to our young people about this when I preached last time. Perseverance, meaning to be tenacious. Never say die attitude. No matter what you do, no matter what's going on, excuse me, you keep fighting. You keep praying. You keep fighting. You keep meditating. That's what you do. You don't give up. You know how many people have walked away from me in real life? Or I've walked away from them, whether in real life or social media. You know how many times? You know how many people? Countless. Countless. Countless people. All I'm saying is the way that a lot of us have been acting, we're better than this. We have people that in spite of how crazy things are, and in spite of how crazy people are, they need you. You keep marching, soldier. You keep fighting. That's what you do. Don't you dare give up on yourself. Don't ever give up on yourself ever again. Don't give up on the Most High ever again. Don't give up on yourself ever again. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on your aspirations. Yeah, it take a while sometimes. It sure does. Lord knows it does. Most High know it does. But as long as you stay strong, you will succeed. And I tell you how you succeed. Number one, don't be going around telling everybody what you're going to do. Sometimes you got to work in silence. Because when you work in silence, silence is your best friend. I want you to hear me. Silence is your best friend. Silence can be your best friend. Don't tell everybody what you got going on. Can't tell everybody your ideas. Sometimes you got to let them find out after the fact. Remember above all else, brothers. You don't remember nothing else I say. You're a warrior. You're a storm survivor. You're a soldier. Don't give up on the Most High. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Never do that to yourself ever again. Well, it's been a ball, but the clock on the wall says that's all for now. To all my warriors, my fellow warriors, my fellow soldiers, salute and shout out to y'all. I'm Yosef X. That's been my 2 cents. Join me next Wednesday for our final episode podcast. I'm going to share with you more coming up. Peace, power, and blessings to all of you on Facebook and YouTube. Join us this Saturday for another podcast ministry on the House of Bread. Elder James, thank you for your compliment. I appreciate it. Lady Marla, thank you for your compliment as well, dear. And thank all of you for listening. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. I'm out.